Hey ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it and I hope that this video finds you well. In today's episode, we're going to be taking a closer look at a fragrance that is from the company Malul. This is a brand new 2020 release and it's called Jet Black Platinum. So make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin my fragrance review of Jet Black Platinum by Malul London, I do want to mention that if you are a fan of fragrance-related content, if you like fragrance reviews here on YouTube, but also top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, pretty much anything fragrance-related, please consider supporting this channel by subscribing to it. All you have to do is click on that red button in the corner, and of course, make sure to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon. This way, whenever I do put out these videos, they will get delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any of my future uploads. So here we have a fragrance by the company Malul, and of course they'll come out with an original fragrance and then they also have a series of flankers. This is the case for Citizen Jack, it's the case for Jet Black, and it's also the case for a number of other fragrances that they have put out. I do also want to say that if you are interested in getting the best price for this fragrance on their website, I'm also going to leave my unique coupon code down below. So definitely make sure to utilize that code if you are interested in making a purchase from this website. Now, this one really piqued my interest because it has spices, vanilla, a lot of sweet ingredients. Toffee is a note in this one too. So I was expecting it to have that salty caramel vibe. And when I smelled this one, for sure, it really did cater to my personal taste. This is the type of fragrance that I personally love to wear, especially right around this time of the year. I think this is ideal and optimum for the colder months. So I'm excited to give you my thoughts in regards to the smell. Let's start things off with the presentation. So the box for this fragrance is rather simple, but it does look elegant. This is Eau de Parfum concentration and the fragrance is called Jet Black Platinum. All of your ingredients are listed on the back. The name of the company is written on the top, and the bottle for this fragrance is rather simple and similar to other fragrances from the brand. There's a sticker on the bottom with your information. The cap for this fragrance does not click into place and it's not a very snug fit, so don't pick it up from the cap. And the distribution on the atomizer is excellent. Let's continue with the smell. So as soon as this fragrance opens up, you are going to be met with this really ample sweetness in the opening. Now, I know vanilla and toffee are listed as notes in this one, and there's also a bit of cinnamon in here as well, in combination with sort of generic or various spices. And I certainly get the appeal of the spices, and they're definitely coming across loud and clear, but I don't think that they're overshadowing the vanilla in any way. This is definitely a sweet fragrance. Dare I say, it even veers into like bubblegum territory, but it doesn't smell like a 1 million by Paco Rabanne, so you don't have to worry about that. If anything, I think this one kind of smells a little bit like 1 million Privé by Paco Rabanne, probably without that excess of incense or myrrh like you would get in 1 million Privé. I think this one is really all about the sweet ingredients. So you have the vanilla, you have the cinnamon, you have the spices, you have a little bit of citrus in the opening. It is very short-lived, and I don't think it ever really works too hard to shape or define the character or the personality of this fragrance. This is a gourmand through and through, in my opinion, just because there's so much sweetness emanating from this test strip right now. And every time I wear it on my skin and my clothes, I definitely am overwhelmed in the best possible way, of course, by that sweetness, because I do have a sweet tooth or a sweet nose, and so my taste does seem to cater towards sweet fragrances, and this really checks all of the boxes. I do find it to be rather unique. I find that cinnamon to be very playful and very inviting in the opening. I also find that that sort of woodsy, musky base isn't overwhelming, and it doesn't detract or take away from the sweetness that you're going to get in the top and in the heart of this fragrance. And that vanilla that's residing in the base can be smelled many, many hours into the longevity and the progression and the evolution of this fragrance. So for me personally, this is a club banger, as many would say. If you are looking for a night out, nighttime, partying, clubbing kind of a fragrance, this is definitely the fragrance for you. So if you're a fan of fragrances like 1 million Privé by Paco Rabanne, if you're a fan of fragrances like Ultramol by Jean Paul Gaultier, or even Azzaro Wanted by Night, this is definitely the DNA or the wheelhouse that is going to cater to your personal tastes. But I also appreciate the fact that despite the fact that I was comparing it to these other fragrances, it still does its own thing. And I think that this is something that is not too common in the designer industry because I do see a surplus of companies copying and emulating one another. And of course, it's all about the money, it's all about the capitalism and seeing how much they could profit off of, the creations of others. But, when Invictus Aqua came out, everybody was quick to put out their version of Invictus Aqua. In my opinion, Azzaro Wanted is an Invictus Aqua. Jimmy Choo Urban Hero is an Invictus Aqua. There's even a Davidoff fragrance that I consider to be an Invictus Aqua inspired type of a fragrance. Giorgio Armani's Acqua di Gio Absolute, if I'm remembering correctly, that one also has Invictus Aqua tendencies. So we see a lot of designers sort of copying and mimicking one another in the interest of putting out a product for themselves that they're going to find profitable. But what I do appreciate about this fragrance is that while it does have hints and slight resemblances to other fragrances, it still does its own thing while maintaining that sort of relevancy and while being unique and original at the same time. I'm really enjoying this one, and I really hope that you have the opportunity to check this one out as well. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, I do find this fragrance to be unique despite the fact that I was able to compare it to like a 1 Million Privé by Paco Rabanne. At the end of the day, it still does its own thing. It's still genuinely unique, and I like the fact that it doesn't smell identical to any other designer fragrance that I have in my collection. So that's definitely a good thing. The longevity on this fragrance was 7 to 8 hours. I got 8 hours on a good day, which is great given the concentration. The projection for this one is about 2 hours on my skin. It didn't become a skin scent up until about that 6 to 6.5 hour mark, but right at that 7 hour mark, you really have to dig your nose into your hand to be able to smell this fragrance. In terms of the versatility, I think this one can be worn in the hotter weather because it's not too loud, and I think it's definitely appropriate and suitable for the colder weather as well, just because it has all of these base notes in here. And for me, the cinnamon and the spices always put me in the mindset of the cold. And so I probably just wouldn't wear it in the dead of summer, although you can pull this off on a warm spring evening. I think this one can lean masculine or feminine, but it might resemble some of the masculine fragrances on the designer market. So it leans traditionally masculine, but of course these are just recommendations, wear what you like. And I think this one is better suited for somebody who's a little bit younger because, like I said, this is more of like a clubbing kind of a fragrance, clubbing, partying, night out. I think if you put this up against Ultramall or 1 Million Privé, this is a really good contender for taking that #1 spot, if you will. In terms of the presentation, I think it's very nice, very classy. So my final verdict on this fragrance is if you are a fan of those clubbing, partying types of fragrances, you don't mind having a little bit of that spicy vanilla sweetness in your fragrances, which some people might be quick to call a bubblegum sweetness. I truly find that this one is going to appeal to a younger crowd. If you're looking for something that is likely to get you a lot of compliments and something that will do really well in those sort of romantic situations, definitely check this fragrance out. I think it will be to your liking. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was my fragrance review of Jet Black Platinum by Malul London. If you own or have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for future videos, and remember to enable notifications by clicking on the bell icon. This way, once again, when I do put out these videos, they will be delivered straight to your feed. You never need to worry about missing any of my future uploads. Thanks again for watching. I love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.